All right. Damn, dude, today's volatility is wild. Holy crap. Wow. All right, we got... I got a couple minutes left. Waiting for this 5-minute range like always, so... All right. Huge 5-minute range. Got a minute left till this 5-minute range. Oh, till the next 5-minute candle opens up. See what's going on these higher... Actually, let me mark out this first. I'm waiting. 30 more seconds left. I'm going to wait for this 5-minute range to get set in. I'm going to start marking out that high already, pretty much. It's already set. There's that high. And then there's that low. So there's that 5-minute range. We quickly go down to the, go up to the 60-minute. All right, we dropped insanely, obviously, from yesterday. Seeing what happens here. We got a lot of room, to the upside for a potential, let's see, 15-minute chart. Okay. So, kind of starting to curl to the downside, but can kind of go either way. We are bouncing off. We are above UOP, so above UOP, we're in bullish territory. Currently still above UOP. It's kind of chopping sideways. As far as news goes, what news do we have today? If any. Ah, shit. Of course we got news in the morning. 9:45. Of course! Of course! We got red folder at 9:45, so be careful. 9:45, red folder. And then 10 o'clock, we got some kind of revised consumer sentiment. So be careful for that. This may chop around until news comes out. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, I hope there's not a setup before news. What kind of news coming out today? It's 9:45 is PMI, and then 10 a.m. is consumer sentiment orange folder. So orange folder news at 10 a.m., red folder news at 9:45. So 9:45 is the bigger impact news. 10 a.m.'s less impact. It's orange folder. So, but it still could have some impact. Chopping before news. Yeah, hopefully this thing does not give a setup before news. NFP, CPI, FOMC. I need to make this work. Want to start in the trading and investing area. Oh, it's going to be a long-term game. Don't expect this to... Don't expect you to be able to get this like super fast, and you know, it takes time to learn this. It's a long-term game. Nice. We're dropping. Got 5 minutes till news and kind of still inside this range, so. Made 1.5K in 3 days. 17 out of 7 trades, then lost it all last night. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you never want to put yourself in a position where you give away days worth of profits in one day. Like, never put yourself in that position. I mean, if you find yourself, you know, not seeing the market and you're taking loss after loss, just walk away. It's not worth it. There's going to be another setup. There's going to be another day where price action may be in your favor, and broke my rules and got too excited. Yeah, stick to your rules. Your rules are there to protect your account. It's kind of a, if you make money, walk away and call it a day and come back another day. It's never worth to. The problem is when you sit there for a long time trading and say you make money, and then instead of walking away, you keep trading and you give it back, then you get emotional because you're just like, man, I was up, now I'm down, now. And you start getting emotional and trying to make that money back. That's why you see me, I have a specific window. I typically trade from 9:30 to like 11 o'clock, right? And then I'm done. I don't, there's plenty of opportunities within that window of time. And you know, and then I just, if I make money, I walk away. If I lose money, I walk away too. So I never have those situations where I'm like, you know, losing a bunch of money in one day because I overtraded or. Yeah, I think we're here. I think we're waiting for news to come out. I think we're gonna just wait till market's just kind of waiting here. Seeing what this news does. I mean, this news will probably, you know, propel it to one direction. It'll finally break out of this range once this news comes out. We got 2 minutes left till news. All right, 20 seconds left. Or no, never mind. 2 minutes left. 1 minute left. How much does Apex cost? Yeah, I only trade the NASDAQ. Apex is 80% off right now, so it's like for a $50,000 account, it's for the evaluation, it's a I think it's like a $33 monthly fee. $33 monthly fee for like a $50,000 evaluation. And then right now they're also having that $40 activation fee too, so it's one of the cheapest deals in the industry right now is Apex, for sure. All right, we got 20 seconds. It's not an actual 50 grand they give you. It's a simulated account where you have to first pass that evaluation, then you get put in a funded account. The funded account's still a simulated account, but you can get payouts from it. So you have a drawdown. You have to hit a $3,000 profit target, and you have a $2,400 drawdown. If you hit that drawdown, you lose the account, and you'll have to, you know, restart, buy another account. You're going bullish? Yeah, possibly, depending on which direction this thing breaks out of. We are in bullish territory right now still. We're kind of hovering right at VWAP. So VWAP is pretty much where this bottom line is. You see this range? All right, here we go. We got 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's news. There's the breakout. News not really doing much here so far. All right, so yeah, I'll be interested in longs if this thing can give me a setup. Definitely be interested in some longs. We'll see though. Dude, we had such a crazy drop yesterday. That's wild. Still. All right, see if momentum can start coming back in here. All right, there's the momentum coming back in, pushing back above VWAP. Question is, does it push back inside this range? Or does this bottom of the range hold as resistance? Is the question here. No, I'm not in any shorts. I'm still waiting here. Trying to go back inside this range. Pretty much now looking for a confirmation. My confirmation's a bullish gap. So we'll see if I get one. What is Palantir doing today? I'm not sure. I don't look at individual stocks. I just look at the Nasdaq's price action. All right, we're pushing. So far, looking so good. So far, looking so good. Nothing yet. Still giving. I was hoping this would give me a confirmation, this candle here, but nope. Bubble is going. We'll see. I mean, this thing dropped yesterday a lot, so, which was pretty crazy because there was no signs of this thing really there was no reason for this thing to drop so hard. That was just like a... I mean, right now it's bullish. Right now we're in bullish territory right now. But it's still it's inside the range, but it's chopping inside the range. In order for me to kind of get a, an entry, I need a confirmation. Pretty much a bullish imbalance would be my confirmation, but we're not getting that yet so far. See, maybe it comes back down to take out that low one more time before going back up and really confirming. We also got news in 10 minutes, that other news event coming out in 10 minutes. I don't mind this thing if this thing pushes down and takes out that low one more time before possibly going back up. 30-minute time frame? What's on the 30-minute? It's kind of a weird area. I mean, this thing kind of my idea, yeah, we got a big bullish gap that I kind of bounced off of, is if we roll over, we could go down to take out these lows. If we hold this, we could start ripping to the upside. So either this top starts holding as support and starts ripping up, or we kind of slowly curl back down and take out those lows. So far, it's it's holding up so far. Trust me, I want to get a setup. If I can get one today, if I can get a setup, an entry here, I would be very happy. If not, just chopping. It's not really doing anything yet. Said I prefer this thing to drop and take out those lows one more time and then start moving up. I would like that. I would like that a lot. Come on, you kidding me?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Bruh. It didn't give me an entry. Freaking A, man. That was the move I was looking for, but it didn't give me an entry. You freaking son of a... NASDAQ. Man, that freaking sucks. This is what I was looking for this long, but I was waiting for a bullish gap to form so I could take a entry off of. It went straight up there without... Ah! Man, that just... Man, November has been a horrible, like, not in the sense of I'm losing a lot of money, but November, I'm just break even. All November has been break even for me. This has been a hard month for me. Last month was a good month. This month just pretty much, so far, break even. Who knows? We still got a week left, so. But I'm just like, man, it's not giving me the entries. A good trade went straight to the TP area, but I was looking for a gap to form. Inside this range would be my confirmation. So if I would have got that bullish gap, I would have went long for those highs, but now we're dropping. Holy crap. Woo! It's the hard part, man. It's been... Yesterday was freaking difficult. Y'all saw what happened yesterday? Bro, I know y'all saw what happened yesterday. Freaking yesterday, honestly, yesterday was one of the hardest days for me in trading I've ever had. Dude, yesterday, I look what happened yesterday. 5-minute range formed, right? I was looking for a short position. Looking for a short. I ended up getting a, right here, this gap. This gap right here was my entry for a short. So initially, instead of my rules, hold on, can you see it? Hold on, let me make sure you can see it. My rules are, if it's a small gap, I put my entry at the beginning of the gap. If it's a bigger gap, I put my entry in the middle of the gap. Those are my rules. Why I didn't follow my rule, I don't know. So instead of putting my entry in the beginning of the gap, like my rule says, I would have got wicked into the trade, and then it would have went directly to my TP area. But since I had it in the middle of the gap, it edged my trade, went to my TP. I held it because I figured it didn't sweep those lows, so I'll still hold for, you know, see if it fills me in to go back down. So it filled me in, rips, stops me out at these highs, stops me out, and then dumps 1,000 points. Bruh, I literally got stopped out at the very highs. It be that way sometimes. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? It's just, it freaking sucks, but it's a part of trading. That's how it be sometimes. And then today, looking for the same type of move, right? We broke out of this range, looking for a bullish gap to kind of form down here so I can take a long up to these highs. Went to those highs, but never gave me my entry for you know, that target. So good to see the biases work. Like I'm having the right bias, but obviously, like, I can't take the trade if all my rules don't check in. You should measure the gap and go by that. 30-point gap beginning, 50-point middle. What do you mean? Measure the gap and go by that? My rules are always, when I'm looking for an entry, like a gap entry, right? That's my confirmation as a gap. So once it's back inside this range, I look for a gap as my confirmation that buyers are strong enough that they left it imbalanced that we could retrace and go to the next level. So that's why I was looking for a gap here. We didn't get it. It still went to that level, but didn't get my confirmation. Now, right? And my rule is always, and the reason I set these rules is because I pay attention to how price usually does it. When it's a small gap, you'll sometimes get where it taps, like I showed you earlier what happened yesterday, where it taps the beginning of the gap and then immediately goes. And so that's why I'm like, it's not really worth me putting, like I did yesterday, putting it in the middle of the gap, it edging my trade, going straight to TP without filling me, when I could have just, like, I mean, what was that? It was a couple of dollars extra. It's not worth it. It's better to put it in the gap and not risk that happening. So you know if it fills that gap, you're getting filled into the trade. If it's a bigger gap, then yeah, that makes sense putting it in the middle of the gap because it's such a big gap that dollar amount actually makes a difference. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like 50-point gap, so I would enter in the middle, risking less. Yeah. So if it's a big gap, the dollar amount makes a difference. But if it's a small gap, I mean, what are you making? An extra 2 points? It's like in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. But you know, it's. But yeah, that's pretty much the move I was looking for right here. This move up to the highs. I was really hoping it almost looked like I was gonna get a gap here. If I would have got a gap there, I would have for sure. You know, the idea would have been gap forms, retrace back to the gap, go for those highs. But no, I'm not going short. Like I said, I was looking for this. I was looking for this long right here that happened. That went straight for these highs. That's what I was looking for. Everything checked out except that gap confirmation I didn't get. So I never entered the trade because I never got that gap. which is fine. You know, the bias still worked. Now that it took out those highs, as you see, you got to have your TPs at very crucial areas, right? Now that it kind of came out, took out these highs, it's dumping. That's part of the reason why I also don't leave runners from, like, you'll notice, if you watch me trade long enough, you'll notice how many times price hits my TP area and then reverses right off my TP. So that's why I have my TPs at very crucial areas. And then, you know, be careful, because you know it could take out this high and then go immediately to the downside. So, like it did, took out those highs, now it's curling back to the downside. Now it took out these lows. We'll see what happens. I mean, if today's going to be kind of a chop day where it just chops sideways, or this thing starts displacing and going for the lows all the way. If you look on the hourly chart, right, it may even go for those lows down there. Now that this thing looks like it's starting to curl to the downside, we got all these lows. We got these lows down here that we could potentially go for. Kind of took out these highs. Now it's curling back down. But this move was insane. Like, I don't know why this happened. This usually doesn't happen. We don't just get 1,000-point move to the downside off of no news, off of nothing. Nvidia had good earnings report, and like the market still tanked. There goes the saying, right? This is why you also always have stop losses. Like, if you're somebody who is emotional in this kind of area and say you didn't have a stop loss, your account just got liquidated. All because you didn't have a stop loss. So, rug pull? I mean, I don't think it's a rug. A rug pull in the NASDAQ would be insane. It's not a rug pull, but like it is a weird move. Why this thing dropped so much does not make any sense. I mean, there was no, and that's the saying, right? That's the saying in the market. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So when you're like, this is why stop losses are important, right? Not everything makes like, somebody could, oh, this is a pullback, it's gonna go back up, there's no bad news, there's nothing, no negative articles, Nvidia had good earnings report, all this is going on, and you're thinking, oh, it's gonna go back up, whatever. Nah, the market could stay irrational longer than you could stay solvent. You're gonna liquidate your account if you don't have the proper risk in place. And even if you don't blow your account, but even if you give away a week's worth of profits, bro, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? No, it's not. It's never worth it. No matter how much money you make, it's never worth, you know, giving away a week's worth of profits potentially by not, you know, having. And that's the thing about the market. The market will reward bad behavior. Like, you may do the same thing a couple times, 2, 3, 4 times, maybe even 5 times you may do it, and the market rewards you for that stupid behavior. Say you didn't have a stop loss and it did reverse, and you ended up making money. The next time, right, you still don't have a stop loss, the market reversed again. Maybe you averaged it into a trade, it reversed again. And then you're thinking, you're like, bro, this is so easy. I mean, just if I'm losing, just average into the loss and I'm fine, right? And it may work 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but I promise you, there will be a time, like what happened yesterday, where you'll just get completely liquidated, all because you don't have proper risk management. Like, this is one of the only industries, this market, where bad behavior is almost rewarded. Like, you make money by doing bad behavior things in the market, right? Not having a stop loss, averaging into losers, all these things that can bull trap. As I said, it may be chopping. It looks like the market is just chopping today inside this range. Seeing what happens. I mean, now at this point, I mean, I don't. The thing is, it's already took out these highs. That's the only problem for me, is it already took out these highs. Like, yes, it could kind of like take out those lows, come back, take out those highs, but this initial move was the best probability for me. This first move to those highs was the best move of the day, but it didn't give me that confirmation. Now it's like this could just be a fake out to go back down lower, which looks like that's exactly what's kind of happening. So, gonna be a blood day? Possible. I mean, this thing looks like it wants to go lower. We're kind of hovering at view op. We're just chopping at view op. Bouncing up, bouncing above it, through it, below it. But the volatility is crazy. I mean, this is a pretty volatile market. You're getting, I mean, this, look at this move to the downside that happened. This was a, what? Let's call it, this was a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40. 200. Like, 220 point move. That was a 220 point move within a couple minutes. Within what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Within 10 minutes, it dropped 200 points. That's freaking insane. That's crazy! And this is also why people always, oh, why do you trade micros? Why do you trade micros? Imagine a day like today trading minis, bruh. Imagine a day like today trading minis, and you can't size in. Like, imagine you trying to take a, you know, you try to take a, let's say you take a short position. Maybe you take a short off this bearish gap, whatever, right? And your stop has to be above these highs. So your stop has to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points. You have to have a 70 point stop with one mini that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's $1,400 risk just with one mini. I risk an average of $300 to $400 per trade. So there's no way of me being able to take that trade with one mini at all if I wanted to take that kind of a trade. But with one micro, with micros, I could easily take this trade, right? That would be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40. So, well, obviously, 140, right? So then you just multiply 140, and you can take, you know, 3 micros. You could take 3 micros, that's $420 risk versus $1,400. So you could actually adjust the size way, you have more room. So like, don't be scared to, like, don't think that micros are something. Like, micros are I love trading micros. I don't have to worry about missing out on a move or risking too much. Every trade I'm risking a certain amount, right? $300 to $400 every single trade. Typically, I shoot for 400. But if I get, like, it depends. If I get, like, a confluence that I'm not super confident in the trade, I'll drop down to 300. But if I'm kind of confident, if I'm confident in it, I'll push it up to 400. So there's a little bit of discretion that goes into that, but do we have... Hold on, the market's closed on next Thursday, right? Or no? Dang it, that kind of sucks. That means one less day of trading. So what? Tomorrow, it's November? So, yeah, November 27th. So this Thursday, the market's closed. Well, actually, it's open. It's open technically, but it's going to close early, which I wouldn't even trade. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be open, but it closes early, so I wouldn't even trade it. One less day of emotional damage. I guess, yeah. That's one way to look at it. It's a good day. We need to relax too. No, even though I like trading, still gotta, give yourself breaks. And bro, if I'm the type of, I would be happy if the market was open. If they made the market where it was open 7 days a week, I would trade 7 days a week. I'm already up 70% on my puts. Dang. 70%, that's crazy. I'm struggling to pick a brokerage platform combo I feel good about. Thoughts? I personally, I wouldn't necessarily recommend how I use. I know a lot of people use what is it? TradingView? A lot of people use TradingView. They like it. I use NinjaTrader. So the way I have kind of NinjaTrader, and I have, back when I traded options, I have Thinkorswim with TD Ameritrade, my charts. So I kind of use those charts also. But I mainly, but technically, other than ViewOp, I have everything I need on my NinjaTrader. I have everything I need, so I personally, I like NinjaTrader. I never have issues with NinjaTrader. Like, me not being able to log on or to have some problems, or NinjaTrader's not execute. It's some BS things that happen. NinjaTrader, yeah, it executes my trades. I never have. The only time if I do have an issue, and which is pretty rare, it's usually with if Rhythmic has an issue, or prop firms type of thing. Rhythmic or Tradeovate has an issue, then that has issues. But Rhythmic, NinjaTrader itself works pretty well. I enjoy it. The reason I chose NinjaTrader is because it's like one of the most popular, trading platforms out there. And once I stick to something, and once I start doing something and I like it and I don't have issues, I just stick with it. I'm not the person that likes to, try to switch to another brokerage and do this and for me, all I need is for the broker to execute I don't need all these fancy, bracket order type of things. All I need is for you to be able to get me in and out of a trade when I want to. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need any other fancy crap. All right, we're dropping below. We're looking like we're going for those lows down there. That's a big point. See, if you're somebody that needs, I don't really use a lot of indicators. I trade, most of my trading is pretty much price action. I do use indicators, but I don't use indicators in a sense of I need them for my trading. I use them as gauges for ViewOp, right? If I'm in a long position and we're pushing up to ViewOp, I could think about maybe taking profits a little early because I know price could reject off of ViewOp. So I use it as a gauge of where the market is and where it could reject off of. But I don't use indicators to take trades off of. So I technically could trade with no indicators, but indicators do help me, And I just have popular indicators. ViewOp, the pivot points are good. 200, couple indicators. I have like 3 indicators, and that's it. Oh, enjoy the coding side of it? Okay, if you're doing that, you may need to... I think, like... See, the thing about it is like... If you're into the coding side of stuff, I know Ninja Trader... Not Ninja Trader, like, when I use Thinkorswim, you were able to actually code your own strategies in there. But... I don't know how I don't think Thinkorswim's a good futures brokerage. I don't think they're good for futures. But you could use them as an indicator or TradingView. If TradingView has it, yeah, that's the thing is like a good brokerage for me may not be a good brokerage for someone else. So if you're looking to like code indicators and stuff like that, you may want to, obviously you want to look for a brokerage that you're able to do that with. I don't even know if Ninja Trader you could do that. Because I don't do that, so I've never looked into it. Schwab commission rate is like 7. Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured they're not good for futures. I use them as like charting because I used to trade options with them. So I already have the charts set up and everything. But yeah, I would never trade futures with them. Just because, they're not really known for futures, so... They're a good options platform to trade options, but futures, no, yeah. TradingView with Pine is decent, but Ninja Trader do version, which is more power. Oh, so Ninja Trader is actually good for? You probably, do you have to pay for, is it like an update or something you have to do? But yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we're kind of now, all right, this is the first sign. We're rejecting off the bottom of the range. So, right, it tapped into the bottom of that 5-minute range. Now we're rejecting to the downside. Now you look on a higher time frame. I mean, we could go for, we could go for those lows down there. We are below VWAP now, and you can kind of see where it pretty much pushed up to VWAP and rejected off of VWAP. Ugh, man. Dropping down. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Took out those lows. Now we're kind of... We do have this gap here, but... I almost feel like it wants to go for those lows down there. Platform name, Ninja Trader. What's confluences? Yeah, I use indicators just as gauges. I don't use them as... I never take trades off of indicators. They're just used as gauges in the market. It just helps me out to understand where price could reject. I mean, you could see, look, watch, I'll show you. Right? Look what happened. I'll switch to my Thinker Swim. Right? Look what happened. Right? I have view op right here. The purple line is view op. The blue line is the 200. So, right, you can see what happened. Pulled up and rejected right off of view op. So it's like, if somebody hypothetically, I don't know why they would, but if somebody did take a long, they would understand, like a scalper would understand that there's a possibility we could reject off of view op. Right, you can see we bounced off of view op, and view op just works because it's such a popular indicator. Now look, we're popping up to view op. Look at all the selling pressure coming back in. It's just hedge funds use view op, so it's like it literally is the most popular indicator out there is view op. So, and it's a good gauge to have also. If when we're below view op, you can see we're bullish. We're in bearish territory when we're below view op. When we're above it, we're kind of in bullish territory. So, but yeah, view op. So the three indicators that I have is view op, right? That 200 you see right here. And I like the 200 because it's different on different time frames. So like the 200 is obviously because it calculates the past 200, candles. So obviously it's going to be different on a 1 minute chart than versus a 5 minute chart. So the 200 view op, and then one more I have the pivot points. Pivot points also is an indicator that I use. So only 3 indicators. Now we're pushing above view op. You see we're just ripping above it now. And you can kind of see there's that 200 on the 5 minute. You can see it's coming up to the 200 on the 5 minute chart. And then when you drop down to a 1 minute chart, we just ripped above that 200, now back below it. So it's we're just chopping today, huh? I mean, makes sense. Fridays are kind of makes sense why we're chopping. We're going into a Friday. I mean, it's Friday going into the weekend. I highly doubt, any institutions or hedge funds are really like trying to get into some massive positions right before the weekend. So liquidity heat map. I used to use Bookmap. So I used to use Bookmap. Like I had a subscription to it and everything. The problem I did not like with Bookmap was it gave me too much of a bias, right? It skewed my bias. So instead of me looking at strictly price action, I was automatically biased because when I would look on Bookmap and I would see, for example, a massive level to the upside, I would automatically just be disregard price action and would just look at that level and go, all right, we're going to that level. There's 400 contracts sitting up there. We're going to go to that level. So I would just be so biased to that level that, sometimes doesn't mean that price is going there just because we have a big area of liquidity up there. So it just kind of, it may work for some people. It just skewed my bias too much. So I stopped using it, and I just strictly trade off of price action. Like, I have a strategy, right? I have 3 rules to enter the trade. It has to do this, it has to do this, and it has to do this. Like, for example, this push up, right? Every rule except one rule did not give me that confirmation, that bullish imbalance confirmation to go up for those highs, to give me the entry. So, although it went up there, I didn't get the last confirmation, so I couldn't take the trade. So I'm very rule-based. That's exactly why I can, because I'm rule-based, it keeps emotions out of it. I have no emotions. And I don't have a risk of over trading. Emotions don't, like, I do get emotional. Obviously, anytime any person gets emotional when they have money on the line, when you're in a trade. But my emotions never dictate my trading. Once I enter a trade, I put my stop loss, I put my take profit, and I let it go. It's going to either hit my stop loss or it's going to hit my take profit. And I can get all emotional I want, whatever, but I will never move my stop loss. And it depends on your strategy. Like for one person's strategy, it may really help them. Like a book map type of feature may help you a lot. I know there are people who use it and they really like it. For me, it didn't work so well for me. So now I'm just like, I would say, 80% of my strategy is pretty much just strictly price action. And that's what I recommend for people. I mean, I say this so many times just because it's so important in trading and I don't want people to make the same mistake. Like, discretionary trading does not work. If you're trading discretionarily and you're just like, you have no rules, you'll never become profitable. I'll tell you that. You'll never become profitable if you're just discretionarily trading with no rules. You may take a payout. I'm not saying you'll never take a payout. You'll still take a payout from some prop firms here, there, maybe you go on a lucky win streak and you end up getting a payout. But let me tell you, actual, true, profitable trading, long-term trading, like not many people can do that. That is completely different than taking prop firm payouts to actually grow your account like in a personal live account. That is completely different. That kind of actual, true professional trading, you have to have rules. You have to. Without rules, you're never going to be profitable in that type of environment. And for me, right, I recommend people, don't treat prop firms. I would say 80% of even influencers, 80% of trading influencers, whatever, they all treat prop firms like a casino. And, do your thing, but I have a completely different approach to it. That's why you see me being very patient. You see me, I'm not risking half my account on one trade. Like, I'm allowing myself draw down. I'm treating this as if it is a real account. Because eventually, I am going to move and start trading a live account. Planning on it in around January. So I need to put in good habits. You do not want to build bad habits because, right, when you build bad habits in, say, a prop firm account, it is very hard to break those bad habits. Once you kind of cement those bad habits in your mind, if you ever want to move to an actual live account, like a personal live account with a brokerage, you've cemented those bad habits so much in your mind by trading that way for years that it's going to be extremely difficult to break that. So why put yourself in a position? Why not treat this as if it's a live account and actually, have a set of rules. Have rules where the amount of trades you take. Have rules to entering a trade, exiting a trade. I've become very systematic in my trading. I don't take a trade unless I've back tested that strategy. So unless I've back tested it and I know it works over a longer period of time, then I can take it. And it has to be rule-based where I have to say, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen, and I enter a trade. So that, and one way to gauge that is actually, I say this all the time, you should be able to, the way you know you have a solid enough rule-based strategy is if you can, miss a day of trading, you should be able to come at the very end of the day, go back on the charts and show me exactly where you would have entered the trade or if you would have not taken the trade at all. But if you would have entered the trade, you should tell me exactly where you would have put your order in. I only trade the levels in the market when, if it works for you, like, keep doing whatever works for you. There's thousands of different ways you can trade. So it's like, if it works for you, stick to what works for you. Just for the meme? I've never looked at corn. Is it really like... I know a lot of people are starting to trade gold. I'm the type of person, I stick to what, like, I really, like, I'll look for, like, if something is working for me, I don't want to change it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been trading NASDAQ for, like, 2 or 3 years already. And it's like, if it works for me, I don't see a reason why me jumping to, like, gold or other things, trying other things, like... Typically, trading less is more. If I could find something that works long term, I just stick to that. You know, I'm in this for the long term. I'm building my capital. Eventually gonna start the live account, hopefully in January, build up that account, keep growing, and eventually get to a level, you know. I'm different than most traders. My goal is not to start a Discord and sell a course and make a bunch of money. My goal is to legit become like a great trader where I can have an account, you know, that's a huge account and I can be making good money. That's my goal. Become actually a really good trader. Here, give me a second. I'll be back. I mean, it's there. Oh, for corn? I just don't know how corn and gold move, right? It may move differently than the NASDAQ. Holy crap, we're getting a lot of volume and wow. It may move differently, like, I don't know, maybe the strategy I use for NASDAQ, it may not work. Like, I would have to backtest it, but I don't see a reason to even do that. Like, what is the reason for me to... Bro, that would be awesome. I would like to say something like stupid, like, you know, you tell somebody you're a trader or something, and you're like, well, what do you do? I trade corn. What is the weirdest, hold on. What is the weirdest futures? What the hell? You could trade? No way. Bro, you can trade snowfall and rainfall? I typed in... What is the weirdest futures indice? So some of the weirdest futures indices include weather-related contracts like snowfall, rainfall, and hurricane futures? What? Which hedge against specific weather events. Or unusual examples include movie box office futures, which were once proposed to hedge against films' financial performance, were banned due to insider trading concerns. One of the more niche contracts based in specific commodities like sunflower seeds. Yo. Oh my gosh. Bro! Sunflower seed futures. What the hell? Bro, imagine telling somebody you trade sunflower seeds. Yeah. I just had a $2,000 day yesterday trading sunflower seeds. Oh my gosh, I wish I could. Bro, I wish I could trade that just to be able to tell people I trade sunflower seeds. That's it. Nothing. I don't even need to make money with sunflower seeds. I just need to place a trade just to be able to tell people that I trade sunflower seeds. Bro, I did not know you could trade some wild... Who trades, bro? Yeah, that'd be crazy. People would look at you like you're dumb. Like, what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been trading for 3 years. If somebody came up to me and said, and I found out, he's like, yeah, I trade. I'm like, oh, nice. What do you trade? I trade sunflower seeds. I'd look at him like he's stupid. I'd be like, what? Sunflower seeds? Get out of here. See, NASDAQ just sounds like, when you say I trade the NASDAQ, it sounds professional. It sounds like everybody knows what the NASDAQ is. Oh, NASDAQ. Okay. You trade the NASDAQ. All right. But sunflower seeds? The dude's special. Or, right? You got the Dow. Who trades the Dow? You got to be like 60 years old to trade the Dow. I feel like only old people trade the Dow. I trade the Dow. Jay is... Bro, that is crazy. Please find me... Huh, if I go to YouTube, can I find somebody actually... trading sunflower seeds? No way. Sunflower seed trader. Nah, it's a bunch of BS videos. I probably have to put day trader. Damn it. You may actually, if you go live, I wonder if you'd get actually like, if the title of your like YouTube live is Sunflower Seed Day Trader. Bro, that's crazy. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Can you even trade that in the US? Not to pocket watch, but after 3 years, what's your... It's not crazy. Like, I'll be honest with you. Just recently, I like, not long ago, I started to find, like, success in trading. Not long ago. Ever since I went to a rule-based system where I actually found a strategy where I've backtested the strategy, I saw the strategy worked, and I developed my own strategy. So I backtested it, I found that it works over a, say, I didn't do a lot of backtesting, I only did 2 months of backtesting, but then I did another, 2 months of forward testing. So I backtested it, saw that it worked, then I forward tested it, proved that that it worked, and I just do the same thing. So ever since I started doing that, I started to find success. But it's been a very slow process. Like, I haven't made a lot of money in it. Because it takes time. For me, especially with the strategy I use, I have about an 80% win rate with the strategy. But, because my rules are kind of like, I look for very specific things, I don't get a trade every single day, typically. So, I do come in and trade every single day, but I don't necessarily place a trade every single day. And because of that, my account is growing, but it's very slowly growing. So, from one side, it's good, but from the other side, it kind of sucks because I want to get to that point. I'm due for, like, hopefully by the end of December, probably early January, I want to take a $20,000 payout to start actually taking the payouts from these accounts with this strategy. But I'm kind of slowly getting there because I'm risking about $300-400 per trade. So I'm just kind of slowly getting there, and hopefully on December, late December, probably early January, I'm going to be taking that $20,000 payout. And then hopefully every month from then on out, I'll be able to start taking at least $10,000 a month. But I'm not at the point where I'm not gonna lie. I haven't made like crazy amounts of money, and like I'm not gonna say that. Oh, I'm out here making a shit ton of money. No, I'm not. It's coming. I know it's coming. I see the success, but it's a very slow grind up. Like, technically, could I just over leverage and just like, I could, but I don't want to blow my accounts. That's the problem. I don't know, and I understand that trading is statistics. So even though I have an 80% win rate, I don't know if I can go on a losing streak. I can go on a 2-3 trade losing streak. So I just don't know, and I don't want to blow my account and then restart and then just like, I would rather size down and just keep growing my account slowly. And just get there. Slowly but surely, I'll get there. As long as I stick to my rules and don't overtrade, don't do something stupid. And that's how you become a successful trader. It's not a get rich quick scheme by any means. What a lot of influencer traders do is they just go super heavy all the time. So if they blow an account, they go super heavy, they pass the account, get put in a funded account, go super heavy again, get lucky on like 3 or 4 trades, and then take a payout. Like, you could technically milk the system and do that, but like, I don't want to. I really want to grow these accounts slowly, get to that level, start taking consistent payouts every single month. And then if I need to, just keep trading. If I ever have issues with funded accounts or anything, then I'll just move to a live account. I'll just stick with a live account at that point. No, I'm not in anything right now. Like I said, I was looking for, the only setup I almost got was this one right here, this move to the upside. I was looking for this move to the upside for these highs when price literally broke back into this range, but I was waiting for a gap. Never got the gap, so I never entered the trade. Kind of missed out on that, but it is what it is. Where's my cursor? Dang. All right. Think you have to pay extra for the setup? I'm not sure. Honestly, you may not. I mean, I don't think it's a really popular... I don't even know how much liquidity it would have. I don't think it would have too much liquidity. Or at least I wouldn't think so. I don't see a lot of people... I mean, even hedge funds. What kind of hedge fund trades, sunflower seed futures? You may have to pay. I don't know. Not something I would ever... I would do it just for the joke, but like... Before I leave, 60% of your futures action gets treated as long-term games. Yeah, there is a big tax advantage to if you are actually a successful live trader futures. If you trade your own live account, then yes, futures get you do have tax benefits with futures. But when you trade prop firms, you don't get those benefits because you're treated as a 1099. So when a prop firm pays you out, like, you're trading with a prop firm, you get a payout, they pay you, $10,000. That $10,000 gets treated as like you're a subcontractor. You're not technically in an actual market. So, but yeah, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying. But yeah. I plan on skipping prop firms entirely. Just gonna go put 10K and run one micro at a time. Yeah, here's the thing. If you've proven to yourself, like, obviously I don't know your trading. If you're actually like, you know, if you're good at trading and you've proven to yourself and you have a lot of confidence in your strategy and you know you can follow rules, manage risk, you know, you've proven to yourself you can actually trade, then why not? I mean, the only thing with prop firms is you can really milk these prop firms. If you are like a good trader, you can milk these prop firms. Like what I plan to do is, like I said earlier, I'm planning to start, once I get this 20K payout, I'm taking 5K of that and I'm putting it in a live account. And I'm going to be starting my own live account. Hopefully sometime in January, I'll be starting my own live account. And so my goal is to have that live account to be able to take trades on that live account as my main, like, master account, and then still have my 7 other accounts that I have with Take Profit Trader, Apex, and then once I take a trade on my live account, my other prop firm accounts get copy traded. So it's like, right, I have a copy trader, so I can literally trade a live account and prop firm accounts all at the same time. So I get like the best of both worlds, if you are actually, you know, but you want to be confident, because you don't want to put, you know, you don't want to put $5,000 into a live account and then just blow that account. You don't want to do that. Yeah, but at the same time, there's so much potential with prop firms. You know, like I have 7 accounts. When I place a $400 trade, I'm making like almost $3,000 per trade. Like it's like $2,600 per trade, $2,800 per trade. So like you're making some, you know, decent money with prop firms. And then just kind of run up those prop firms. Take as much payouts as you can. And then if you ever have to, and that's why I tell people, build good habits. Don't treat these prop firms as a casino. Treat them as an actual live account. Build the good habits necessary so that when you do go to a live account, or if you do ever start one, then the transition would be smooth. You're not changing anything up. You're just, you know, you're doing everything the same, except you're doing it in a live account. I'm gonna milk these prop firms as last, not gonna lie. Yeah, why not? Like, if you can trade, why not milk these prop firms and get payouts? Like, actually get, you know, if you can get $500,000 from milking prop firms, that's pretty good. And then worst case scenario, if you ever have issues with prop firms and you ever you're like, screw this, I'm just gonna trade a live account, or, you know, who knows what's coming down the road. Maybe there's gonna be a lot of regulations with them. Who knows? You just never know what's gonna happen down in the future. But there will always be the opportunity of trading a live account if you ever need it. So, but prop firms, I mean, one of the reasons why I really learned how to trade was because of prop firms. So I really I do support prop firms, because with them I was able to learn. I know a lot of people shit on prop firms and stuff, but prop firms were one of the reasons why I learned how to trade. I blew a bunch of accounts. I did blow a lot of evaluation accounts. I didn't blow a lot of funded accounts, but evaluations, I blew so many evaluation accounts. And, you know, that was part of the reason why I was able to stay in the game for so long, because it took me years and years and years to learn this. So if I was doing that in a live environment, I wouldn't have lasted that long. And I was one of those people who didn't want to trade a sim account, like with a brokerage. Which, looking back now, I mean, now I know that was a stupid thing that I did. But, like, not trading a sim account. Going back now, that's 100% what I would do. Now we have prop firms, so it's a little different. But the ideal thing to do is learn a strategy in a simulated environment and then go to a prop firm route and really milk it. But yet again, when you get, like, Apex has $33 evaluations, if you size correctly and make that account last for a whole month, like, when you're learning, you're gonna blow accounts. So $33 a month it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's better. It for sure is better to use someone else's money than your own money. Yeah, and it's like, bro, the opportunity to, like, look at Apex, like, to be able to buy a $33 account and be able to pass that account. They have the $40 lifetime activation fee, right? With the promo right now. You pay the $40, so you're in it, right? Like 70, 80 bucks total for a $50,000 account. And then if you do know how to trade and you run up that account and you're able to get $5,000 or $5,000 payout, you're telling me you can invest $70, $80 to get a $5,000 payout? That's freaking insane. That's a crazy ROI. Obviously, it's not easy. That's a very difficult thing to do, but it's possible. It's not out of the reach to do that. I replace video games with paper trading. Yeah, it's more fun. There's so much more potential in it. And it's, you know, it is satisfying. For me, it's satisfying figuring out a strategy, backtesting it, seeing it's profitable, and then executing it like in real time. It is pretty satisfying. It's a game. I mean, this is a game where you can make a lot of money eventually. So, how long is the discount code good? I'll tell you. Let me see. Give me a second. It ends in 3 days. So what's today? Today's Friday, right? So Monday. So around it'll end on Monday. So you have till Monday to if you're interested in for the 80% off. Yeah, no problem. I blew so many accounts with intraday drawdown. I had to move to end of day. Yeah, it's like for me, right? For me, it doesn't matter. Like this whole trailing drawdown, it does suck for some people depending on your strategy. For me, since I'm scalping, right? I'm like, technically scalping like typically 60, 70 point moves. Because I'm doing that, for me, it doesn't really matter. I'm going for a 1-to-1. On average, I'm going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So that doesn't matter for me. But if you're someone where it really affects you, then yeah, I could see it, you know. You have to, if that's something that really could affect you because you hold trades for longer term, then yeah, you would have to go to an end of day. Or just manage, trail your stop loss. You know, you could also do that. You could trail your stop, but yeah, for me, it doesn't really affect me. Because since I only go for a 1-to-1, I take base hits. I don't try to go for anything crazy. I pretty much, whatever the market is showing me that it could give me, that's what I'm taking. Sometimes it's even less than a 1-to-1, not gonna lie. Sometimes my risk to reward does drop below a 1-to-1 because I'm taking what the market's giving me. If the market's giving me a little bit less than a 1-to-1, that's what I'm taking. And trust me, I've had so many times because of the very specific levels I take profit where it'll go down. Say I have a take profit at a low. It'll go down, hit my take profit, and then it'll rip all the way back up to the upside. I've had that so many times happen. I like to hold my trades a little long. Yeah, if you're somebody who likes to hold their trades, that's perfectly fine. And it's just like you just have to go with a prop firm that suits your trading style. That's it. I mean, there's plenty of prop firms out there that have end of day drawdown and not trailing. So it's just the one benefit to like Apex is you could really scale. Apex is a good balance because it's good for beginners because of how cheap it is, and it's good for like professionals because of how many accounts you can actually get. I use Ninja Trader. I'm a beginner and new to your page. How you doing? I'm doing good. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a very, like, not gonna lie, I'm a very, like, I guess you would say patient trader. I look for something very specific. So, like, some people come in and they're like, this dude never trades. I do take trades. It's just, I'm not taking a trade every 10 minutes. So, There are days where I can come into the market and I won't take a trade because I'm waiting for something very specific to happen. I'm like a sniper, bro. I'm like a sniper that'll sit there for days and days and wait and wait and wait for that setup, and then boom, once it comes, you hit it. Apex has one of the worst payout rules. What do you mean? Why do you think it has one of the worst payout rules? You're just promoting because you have a code? I mean, I never promote anything that I don't use myself. The reason I promote Apex is because I use Apex. I have 5 funded accounts with them. The reason I promote Take Profit Trader is because I use Take Profit Trader. I will never promote a prop firm that I don't use myself. I will never. If I was that type of person, I could have just opened up, accounts with Tradeify and Lucid Trading and all these other prop firms, and then buy codes and do codes with them. But I don't do that because I don't trade them. So why would I have a code for something I don't trade? I've never tried my funded futures, no. After using TPT, why do you still use Apex? Because I want to diversify, right? Apex is good in their own way that, I have 5 funded accounts with Apex and I have 2 funded accounts with Take Profit. The reason I like Apex, obviously, I have those 5 accounts. Apex is, I was able to get those accounts for a pretty decent price. So I have those. Take Profit Trader, I like them because, right, they give you daily payouts. So if I have 2 accounts and I make $800, I can take a daily payout. So every account has its own benefits. So what's the reason for me to just stick with one prop firm? And it's good to diversify, right? It's good to diversify and have Apex accounts and then Take Profit Trader accounts, and then eventually maybe I'll get some Tradeify accounts. And I don't want to overload myself and constantly slowly but surely I'll get other accounts too, but as of now, this is fine for me. I have 7 accounts right now. I don't really necessarily need more. I'm at a point where I think I'm pretty satisfied with where I am. Once I take a couple payouts, then I'll probably try to start getting more accounts. Yeah, that's my goal too. I want to get as many accounts as I can. I'm at 7 right now, funded accounts. Eventually, I want to get to 20, 30 accounts eventually. That would be awesome. Can trading become a full-time job? Yeah, trading can become a full-time job, but I never recommend for trading to be a full-time job. I think you should always have, I trade from 9:30 till about 11 o'clock. So there's no reason trading should give you the opportunity, if you get good at trading, to fund other things, fund other business ideas you have or other things you want to do, give you the freedom to try to do other things. I don't necessarily think trading should be your only, it could be, if you're at a point where you're making crazy amounts of money and you got a lot in savings where, you don't have to make money from trading. But if you do ever do full-time trading, you never want to be in a position where you have to make money. For me, if I ever decided to just do full-time trading, I would need at least 6 months of 6 months of profits set aside for bills, so that I wouldn't, I wouldn't worry about I wouldn't come into the market having to take a trade. You never want to be in a position where you come into the market and you feel like you have to take a trade because bills are due, or you have to take a trade because I need to do this, or you want to come into the market with just following your strategy. If I get a setup, I take it. If I don't, I walk away. I don't have to make money today. I don't have to make money this week. I don't have to make money this month. I can have a break-even month and I'll be fine. And that's just part of trading sometimes. Like I said, November has been a hard month for me. Last month was pretty decent for me. This month, a lot harder for me. I've been hovering at break even all month long, to be honest with you. I haven't been taking like too many trades this month. I just, so, but we still got a week left, so that could all change if I can get some good setups. It starts becoming your life. Yeah, you never want to be in the mindset where you have to take trades. That's a dangerous place to be in. Yeah, trading should be the avenue to give you freedom to try other things. Whether you want to do, start some business or do this, do that, whatever it is. I'm not saying, you can have trading your full-time thing. And who knows? Maybe eventually I will. But like for me, right, I buy and sell cars because I like to do it. So that's something I do on the side, another source of income. I buy and sell cars. If I start making a crazy amount of money from trading, all that would happen is I would just buy more expensive cars. That's the only thing that would change. I would still do what I'm doing now. It's just, I would just, the value of the cars would just go up. Day trading is better than Uber Eats. Well, yeah, they're two completely different. Uber Eats doesn't require a skill set, which trading, is a very difficult skill set. Very difficult, because you got to remember, right? Hedge funds and all this, you're trading against some of the smartest people out there. Like, trading is very difficult. It's not even the strategy part. It's yourself. It's you getting emotional. It's people not following rules. People cannot follow rules. That's the biggest reason why many traders fail, is because they can't find something that works, back test it, prove it, forward test it, prove it, stick to it, follow the rules. That's it. And many professional traders have said this. Even that, there's a story in the book. I've never read the book, but I've heard the story. I forgot what book. It's a super popular trading book. Pretty much saying in the book, he gives the example of he can give people a strategy, say a coin toss, right? And he can rig the coin so that the coin lands, let's say 60 to 70% heads, because it's weighted. And you could give people that coin and tell people, do this, do that, give them a specific rule base to be able to, have rules to be able to risk a certain amount based on the way it lands or whatever. He's like, people would still lose money. Even though the coin is rigged and all you have to do is follow the rules and you'll make money, people still won't be able to do it. Like, majority of people still will not be able to do it. People just suck at following rules, and that's just it. People can't control themselves. Trading is statistics, rules. That's all trading is data and statistics. That's, if you want to sum up trading in one thing, day trading, right? Data and statistics. You have your data based on your strategy, the rules you have for your strategy, and statistics. You understand that any strategy is going to have losing trades. So if I have an 80% win rate, I'm still going to have losing trades. That's the statistics part of trading. Statistically, this happens, and it's like if-then statements, like, programming, coding. If this happens and this happens, then I do this and I take a trade. If this happens and this happens, I take a trade. But most people don't do that. Most people don't keep an eye on their data. Most people don't. And that's why these prop firms make so much money, because people just have this gambler's mindset where they treat it like a casino. They come in and they just take random trades expecting to make a lot of money, which never happens. They just in this endless, nasty loop of blowing accounts. And if you don't have data, you can't learn from your mistakes. When you're placing random trades in the market, like if I placed a random trade, hypothetically speaking, right now, I could place a buy order right now. This thing could rip to the upside and I can make money, right? But guess what? Like, there's no data I'm going off of. There's no rules. So I can't learn. If this ends up being a losing trade, I can't learn because there is no rules to learn off of, right? You only learn when you have a set of rules, and then you take a loss, you go back and did I follow my rules? Oh, okay, I didn't follow this rule. That's why I lost. Or I didn't do this. That's why I lost. And you're improving, you're growing as a trader when you're have rules and you're learning from your mistakes. When you're never learning, guess what? You will always stay stagnant and you'll always be, yes, you'll get a little bit of a streak here and there. You'll make money here and there. You know, you'll go on a run here and there, but you're never going to be profitable long-term doing that. And that's just it. That's why these prop firms make so much money, because 90% of people treat it as a casino and like, they just want to show you the crazy P&Ls and like, bruh. And we're not, as human beings, we are not wired for day trading, right? We're wired when price goes against you, your brain perceives it as a threat. You're automatically looking to cancel your stop order, and because you don't want to lose. You know, nobody wants the idea of losing. So that's why there's a book called Best Loser Wins. It's like, in order to be a good day trader, you almost have to become a good loser, in a sense of like, you have to be able to take losses and walk away and be completely fine with those losses as long as you followed your plan. And I say this, the only way I could have a bad day is if I do not follow my rules, right? Yesterday, I'll admit, I didn't follow one of the rules. Why? I lost the trade yesterday. That trade should have been a winning trade. That's what pissed me off the most. That trade should have been a winning trade, but I did not follow my rules. And so, it ended up being a losing trade because I didn't follow my rules. That's part of it. Google what? Bar chart? Bar chart, most active all futures, and sort by lowest volume. Are they just a bunch of bar chart? Let me... Wait, what do you mean sort by volume? Let's see where Nasdaq's at real quick. So we're coming back down. So we took out this first liquidity, these lows down there, but yeah, this isn't yesterday's. This is just this morning's. This is pre-market. It hasn't taken out pre-market yet. Yeah, it's all rule-based. If you want to become a successful trader, rule-based, rule-based, rule-based. That's it. Don't take a trade if it's not something you haven't backtested. Don't take something unless you've backtested it and you know you've proven in backtesting that it, you know, that it's profitable. Other than that, don't take the trade. Like, we can all, like, looking at this chart, I can just place a buy order right now, get lucky, and this thing rips to the upside and I make a bunch of money. But is that really a good trade? No, it's not, because there is no rules, there's no strategy, there's none of that. There's none of that. So you're not going to be profitable doing that long term. You may get rewarded in the short term, but long-term success without rules, you know, it's like opening up a business without a plan, without anything. Like, you're not going to be, that business is not going to succeed if you don't keep track of your data, if you don't have rules for your business to stay profitable. Like, then you're just going to fail. You're never going to be profitable in a business sense either. Everything you start, everything you do has to have rules. Even in society, if we never had rules, I mean, there'd be chaos all over the place if we didn't have rules. So, rules are there to keep order, whether it's in a business, society, or your trading. Is it a sweat? Because I tried to... Oh. Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. I see it. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. What is this website, though? It's a... Dang. Uranium, sugar. Yeah, I see it. Uranium, sugar, pork, dry, non-fat, dry milk. What the? But there's like no volume. Like the volume is 0. Why does this? The volume's literally 0. So can you technically, you can't trade it, right? How does that work? Oh, wait. Can y'all hear me still? Wait, y'all can hear me or no? Ugh. All right, I think we're good. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what happened. Still can't hear? Hello? No dice? No volume? Hello? I don't know if it's... Hold on, give me a second. Hello? 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 It shows my volume's good. Hello, 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 hello. One. Blue. Whatever. Alright, whatever. I'm done. I don't know what the hell happened, why my volume isn't working. I'm out. I have to go anyways.